on one. Great jacket. Thank you.
How you doing? Mark Stallworth, Miami Times. Coach Mike McDaniel of the Miami Dolphins sent you a text called "Adversity is Opportunity." Could you want to expound on that, your relationship with him, and how you plan to use adversity being an opportunity in Game 4 to make sure you guys get this win?
It's been fun developing a relationship with him. We were fortunate enough to be able to spend a whole afternoon during training camp, see how they operate, and then in the afternoon we ended up just talking shop. That's fun. And obviously he's been to a lot of our games. We've been texting back and forth. We share very similar thoughts about finding strength in adversity and using those as lessons to help you grow.
Ira?
You know the question already, but Tyler Hero, did he have his contact workout yet? And one thing I'm a little unclear of is he's been cleared apparently for contact workouts, but he hasn't been cleared. Can you sort of elucidate a little on the difference between the two? Thank you.
Yeah, this is just part of the process. You have to go through stages. First part of it was just shooting, then movement, then contact versus coaches, and then the next level of contact in practice. He has not been cleared for a game, and he's still not cleared yet.
Tim, fourth row on the left.
Tim Reynolds, Associated Press. Erik, is there any weird consolation in you guys got, especially in the first half, a lot of shots in the paint that you like that just didn't go down? Nikola had a historic performance. Jamal had a historic performance. Like, it took a lot of things to not go your way last night, and a lot of them, like even Jimmy was saying, are correctable. Is there any strange comfort in that, yes, it was a 15-point game, but there are some things that could change pretty easily tomorrow if you wanted them to?
Yeah, like a lot of these games, there are certain things that you like, and you think that you can continue to do those things. I liked our aggressive attacking mentality. And then there's things that, we feel like we have to do better. And this is great competition. Those two guys can manipulate your defense in different ways. And one of the biggest strengths we have is our competitive spirit, nature, just to overcome whatever, even if players play well or a team plays well, that we figure out how to get the win at the end. We were not able to do that. You do have to credit them. And like I said after the game, the film also substantiated that. Was those areas, ball in the air, ball on the floor, 50-50 balls, the physicality parts of the game. For the most part, they were winning those, and clearly the rebounding differential, was probably the most glaring sign.
Mark, back left.
Mark Spears, ESPN's Landscape. Coach, at this level, as the stakes are so high, when you have a player like Tyler, how do you gauge honesty in terms of wanting to play, whether should you play, and where are his spirits at this point?
His spirits are great because he's able to work out. And, where he was 5 weeks ago, not able to, he wasn't able to shoot and do the things that he wanted to do. But he's a competitor. He wants to be out there. And he was really excited at the beginning of this playoff run, for the opportunity that we felt that we had with this team. But there's sometimes things that you can't control. So right now he's not cleared to take that next step. He's checked every box so far, but he's not at that next step yet to clear for an NBA Finals game. But he's doing everything he needs to do to take these next steps.
Cooper?
CooperMoreheadHeat.com. That was a season high or tied a season high for Murray Jokic pick and rolls last night. Did you feel like you got any better traction once you started putting two on the ball with Murray? And how dangerous can that be when the result can be Jokic kind of getting the ball in space?
Yeah, I think whatever you do, you just can't do it all the time. There's no absolutes when you get to this level. It's the highest level of competition. You're getting the highest level of execution, understanding what they're trying to get to, and we try to get them out of their comfort zones as much as possible. The first half, they really got to that two-man action quite a bit, and they were getting a lot of traction, so they didn't need to go to any other part of their playbook. Second half, we did, a little bit better with it. Game 4 could be different. They may go to a different part of their menu. Whatever it is, we have to find a way to get the job done.
Joe, front left.
Joe Varden, the Athletic. It seemed like Kyle was limping at the end of last night's game. Will he be on the injury report today?
I don't know if he'll be on the report because I don't follow that. I think you have to put, if you have a hangnail, you have to put that on the report. He slipped at the end, but he already did his shooting and his workout, so he's fine. He'll be ready to go.
White shirt over here, right, fourth row.
Coach, I'm very interested in your career arc and becoming one of the premier coaches in the league that you're considered today. I'm wondering how different is this experience, this stage in your career compared to when you first came up as a head coach working with LeBron and Dwayne Wade? How different do you feel kind of in your own skin here in the finals in comparison to your first finals appearance as a head coach?
Yeah, all the experiences are different, and you want to be fully present, for the team and what's happening right now. I've said this during this playoff run, the more experience you have, the more perspective you have about how difficult this really is. These are extremely difficult challenges, and you end up being even more grateful, for the opportunities to compete at the highest level. That's what we all want. This is the stage that you want to be able to compete and have everything decided between those four lines and find out, how your team stacks up. But it is tough. It's tough going through the gauntlet of 3 rounds to get to this level, and then when you get to this level, it should be what it is. It's the highest level of competition, and our guys thrive in that. They love it. Even after games like last night, our guys love to compete and put it all out there.
Last question in the back.
Hey, Safedin, USA Today. Christian Brown was a guy you kind of picked on defensively in Game 2 during Duncan's run. But what was he doing? Was he one of those benefactors of the 50-50 balls kind of in that second half there?
Yeah, there was a couple of those, but also the force that he was playing with on his cuts and his drives and in transition. Those were X-factor points for sure. And, now he's had 2 games where he's been able to have an impact. And throughout the rotation, we have to make sure that we're getting positive minutes and winning more skirmishes than not. Last night, we lost the majority of those skirmishes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Got Manny. Go ahead.
Hey, Max. Apologize for bringing up a non-basketball question, but big soccer news yesterday in the city with Messi and the announcement he's going to come play for Inter Miami. Just curious how big a soccer fan you are. Obviously, some big-time players here also watching last night.
To be honest, I don't really watch it that much. I don't know a lot about soccer, but obviously I know who Messi is. Pretty cool to have him in our city, and can't wait to meet him if he comes to a game.
Go to Anthony.
Max, it seemed like last night they made a little bit of an adjustment to kind of take away as many open three-point looks maybe in the first 2 games. What did they kind of do differently maybe to clean that area of the game for them up?
I don't know. I think we got good looks again, but it wasn't about shooting. It was everything else. They just beat us in every aspect of the game.
When you look back at the film, I know Spo's kind of harping on the loose balls and 50-50 balls. What did you guys kind of notice?
They just beat us in every aspect. Loose balls, rebounds. They just outplayed us.
When a team like Denver has that kind of size advantage and you got to play 7-game series against them, just the physicality, how do you sort of recover when they've got so much size?
Some good sleep, rest. We've been doing this all year.
You done? No more questions? Okay, thanks a lot, Matt.
It's good, y'all.
Start on the left side.
Did you feel like they did anything differently as far as kind of taking away the three-point line a little more than the first 2 games as far as those clean three-point looks you guys got in Denver?
I think they competed really hard on both ends of the floor.
credit to them, credit to the way they came out and fought. I think we had a slight lack of intention, a slight lack of spacing probably that we could do a little bit better on our part, but, they competed really well.
Did you notice that? Oh, I'm sorry. Wes Goldberg, Lockdown Network. Did you notice them doing anything differently in terms of maybe shading one way or the other on you and other ball handlers to try to take away that pocket pass to Bam?
Not really. I mean, that's pretty much their system, the way they guard, and they usually pull guys into the paint and make things difficult. They're a really good team for a reason, and they force you to play a certain way and sack them a certain way, and we just got to be a little more intentional.
And then, second question: what have you noticed from Spo in terms of what he's telling you guys, either after great shooting nights or off shooting nights? Like game 2, game 3, completely different for you guys. What's his message to the team in those kinds of swings?
I'd say the message is pretty similar. We're not going to get too high or too low. Things are going to be difficult, and we just got to continue to stay the course.
We'll come back to Anthony.
Not a basketball question, but are you a soccer fan?
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay. Were you surprised when you heard the Messi news that he was coming here? And I guess what do you feel like that means for the city and the community?
Yeah, I wasn't really surprised. I think I heard whispers about it a few years ago, but you hear a lot of things, and often they don't always come to fruition. And I think it was a great move on his part. From what I saw about the deal, it looks like it was a no-brainer deal. It's a decision to make, and I'm happy for him and his family, and hopefully they bring some good soccer to Inter Miami.
One more basketball question. They put Jamal into a lot of ball screens. What kind of challenge does that pose to you guys as a defense when they're relentlessly screening for him and trying to get him open?
Yeah, Jokic is a pretty good screener. He typically makes contact with the primary defender pretty well, and Jamal can score in a number of ways, so he puts pressure on guys immensely. So they're a dynamic duo. We got to bring our best effort.
We're going to go to fourth row on the left.
Hi, Gabe. Because it's the first time in the series we have falling behind. It's 1-2 now. You have never fallen behind in the past series. And then how do you feel the mindset right now?
I feel like it's the first team to get 4 wins. So whether we're behind or tied or ahead, we're going to stay pretty even keel and keep that in mind. That we got to get the first team to 4, and that's all that matters.
Any more questions for Gabe? Matt?
Gabe, they they did better on their weak side rotations, guarding you guys at the three-point line last night, got 3-point attempts down. Is the counter for that to drive an attack off of those, or is it more ball movement to keep you guys in the flow of that offense?
Yeah, I think either one could work. What we did could work. I think if we followed our game plan a little bit, I think we strayed. We lost our focus a bit that we could be better on. But like you mentioned, they picked up their effort, and they were good defensively, and they were solid offensively, and they're a very good team, and they're going to force us to play well. So we're looking forward to the competition of Game 4.
Any more questions? All right, thanks a lot, Gabe.
Appreciate y'all. Question, fifth row over here on the aisle. You got him.
Hey, Bam. Mark Stallworth, Miami Times. The great Pat Riley once said, no rebounds, no rings. Last game, you guys were out-rebounded on the defensive boards, 45 rebounds for Denver. What do you guys think you need to fix to alleviate that gap?
Force them into difficult shots, and when they miss, get the rebound.
Mark, back left.
Mark Spears, ESPN's Landscape. What's it like being around Tyler right now? Where is his spirits at? And, can you imagine just kind of mentally what he's going through, not being able to participate at this level? You have some hope that he will get to.
Considering I've been in that position, the first finals, having to sit and watch your team, go through that battle and try to figure it out without you. But I think he's in good spirits. He's definitely inching his way back. But the biggest thing is him getting healthy at the end of the day. So we want him to be fully healthy. So when he does return, if he does, we'll have that same Tyler you know, during the season where he was being that bucket getter that we know him for. I can't hear you, bro. How did I get through it?
Yeah.
I mean, me personally, it was just I had to be on the court in a different way. So that was me talking on the bench, me giving energy, anything I could do that will put me as close on the court as possible.
Dan here on the right.
Dan Devine, Yahoo Sports. The way that Jokic shoots the ball, I imagine, creates some challenges for when you're deciding like how hard to close, when to close short. What goes into that decision-making process for you? I know he got you on the pump and go a couple times last game. What goes into that decision-making process?
There's Kyle. Biggest thing is just read and react. Easier said than done, obviously, but you know, pretty much read and react and watching film.
Joe on the left, front.
Hey, Ben. Joe Varden from The Athletic. There's been a few times throughout the playoffs when you guys have faced some adversity, and Spo says, well, we're fine. We have a gnarly team. What is gnarly team? What do you think that means? Like, why would he say that?
One, it's Spo. So that's only a Spo term. But we've been through so much this season. Ups, downs, goods, bad. A lot of you in here probably never thought we would be in this position right now. So I feel like that's what he means when he says a gnarly team.
Michael up front.
Michael Pete of The Ringer. Your screens are such an important part of Miami's offense. I'm just wondering, does it matter who the ball handler is and how you set them, and just how have you improved as a screen setter throughout your career?
Watching film, watching some of the great screen, and then obviously the way we run offense. It's everybody's involved, everybody's prepared, and everybody's ready to rock. So 1 through 5 are live. So my screens is the biggest thing is to get the guy open, because if he's live, that makes me live, that makes everybody else live, and that's a good recipe for success.
Over here on the right aisle.
Mark Starr with Miami Times. UD and Nikola Jovic, their birthdays are both on Friday. I'm curious, are you getting them the same birthday gift, or how do you differentiate what you get them?
I didn't even think about that. What's today? Wow, that's tomorrow. You don't got a lot of time for that. I don't know what I'll be getting them. I'm pretty sure they're fine. If we don't get them anything, the biggest thing is we'll be playing on their birthday. So, you know, coming in this building and getting a win, I feel like they'll both be happy with that.
Got last two, Tim and then Rob behind him.
Bam, it's not technically a must-win tomorrow, but you know the reality of what it will be like going down 3-1. How do you balance that need to say, I got to do more without trying to do too much or putting it all on yourself, or Jimmy putting it all on him, or Gabe putting it all on him? Like, how's that balance within the framework of the team?
You trust one another to do their job, and you let the chips fall where they lay. You trust 1 through 5, 1 through 15. You trust the staff, and everybody has a belief that you can get that job done. And if everybody has that belief and everybody comes with the right mindset, that's how you can get it done.
Next row back, Rob.
Bam, Rob Mahoney from The Ringer. I know you talked about the rebounding differential earlier, but with the variety of defenses you guys play between the zones and the 2 on the ball and switching, how do you think about rebounding differently out of those different schemes? Do you have to change anything in terms of how you're approaching it?
Nah, you see a person, they shoot the ball, you see who's closest to you, you box them out, and everybody run for the rebound.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Jimmy will be right up. First question, Barry, right here.
Hi. Your shooting percentage obviously was incredible first 3 weeks of the playoffs. Good now, not at that same level. Jimmy, with shooting percentage, is it luck? Is it who's defending you, or is there more than that you've noticed in terms of your footwork, which obviously you put a lot of emphasis in? Is there anything else you've noticed in terms of explaining it, your ankle, any factor?
Nope, just some missed shots. It's part of the game. It'll get better, but missed shots, made shots, we just got to win because then nobody's paying attention to it, which we will do. I will be better because whenever I'm better, we are better as a whole.
Tim on the left.
Jimmy, Tim Reynolds, AP. I forgot to ask you yesterday, but there was a little bit of news in town with Lionel Messi coming to Inter Miami. As the football expert in the room and certainly on the team, what was your reaction when you heard that he was coming, and what do you think that means for soccer in this country?
A lot of good. Obviously, he's one of the greatest players to play that beautiful game. And I'm so excited for the city of Miami to be able to have a player of that caliber here. I'm excited for the city of Miami in so many different ways. Obviously, us being in the finals and having the opportunity to do something special. Now that he's here, I think, all the football/soccer fans from all over the world are going to come here and get an opportunity to watch him compete. So I'm glad he's here.
Fabio here.
Fábio Malavasi, NBA Brazil. Well, we talk about soccer. Let's talk about coffee. We went to visit your trailer yesterday. How you grade your coffee? Is anybody else on the team drinking your coffee?
I graded 10 out of 10, and nobody on my team can afford it, so they don't want to go over there and pay for it.
Vince in the middle. Let's raise your hand. There you go.
Vince Goodwill, Yahoo Sports. Jimmy, Dwayne was at the game last night sitting next to Magic Johnson courtside. You two spent that year together in Chicago, and it was a tumultuous year, but you said he kind of turned you on to Heat culture. How important was that season you spending with him and maybe you growing as a player during that time?
It was very important. And yes, I did grow as a player, but I grew as like a person/leader because I just always remember the thing he told me more often than anything is everybody doesn't go about things the way that you go about it, but there is an organization out there that does, that being this one. And he just told me everything that the Heat are about was about winning, and he wasn't doing anything that he wasn't supposed to be doing. I'm just saying, he had been a legend here, still is, and he was just saying the reason he was who he was because the way that they went about things here, and he pointed me in this direction.
Standing on the left side.
Jimmy, hi, Valeria Rubino, V-Sport, Corriere Italy. Is it the resiliency, the character, the skills, or, as you said, the art of not giving a damn? What makes you proud of representing the Heat culture, and what do you expect from this group tomorrow?
Obviously, I expect to win, but what makes me proud is these guys are never out of the fight. They're so joyful because we're in this thing together through good and through bad, and I'm proud of my guys for that. I love my guys for that. So tomorrow we're going to come out with a lot more energy. We're going to compete at a high level, and we're going to get one at home.
Mark, back left.
Mark Spears, ESPN's Landscape. Jimmy, where is Tyler at mentally in your conversations? Like, how's he holding up, and what kind of boost can he give you guys this late in the series?
I mean, obviously, he's been huge in what we've done all year long. But I think his spirits are really high. He's doing everything that he can to come back and help. I don't know where he is in that process, but I see him working. I see him smiling. I see him being around the guys, which is good for him and even better for us. And we want him out there competing with us. We always have. We always will. But whenever he's ready, he'll be back, and he'll be better than ever.
Dan, over here on the right.
Dan Devine, Yahoo Sports. There's been a number of times where you've had to switch on to Jokic out at the perimeter. I'm wondering his shooting ability, what does that do in your decisions to close out? It's got to be short, on the ball. Kind of how do you go about that decision-making process with a big who shoots it like that?
Honestly, I can't even tell you the answer to it because he can shoot the ball, he can put the ball on the floor, pass the ball. you just got to do everything you can to stay in between him and the basket, trace the ball with both hands. But he's a hell of a player. So, like, he's been very, very dominant in everywhere on the floor. So you're closing out, one of the best players in the world, if not the best player in the world. And it's a handful for anybody that's closing them out.
Front left, Joe.
Joe Varden, The Athletic. Jimmy, two things. Do you know Messi enough have you met him and know him enough to reach out, welcome him to Miami or anything like that?
Can you leave me alone? I got like 3 more questions. I wouldn't say that I know him enough, but I have met him before. Will I reach out? Probably not. I know he's probably got a ton of stuff going on anyways. He's coming over here to do something special for this city. I won't reach out. Kyle, if you don't leave me alone. So I'm happy that he's here, though. I really am, and I know that we will link whenever he's here.
Michael in the front.
Michael Pina, The Ringer. Bam screens are such an important part of your offense. Just what makes him so effective, and how does he make your life easier?
He gets me open a lot of the times. And then obviously you have to guard him whenever he's rolling, popping. And then when you get him the ball, he's getting the ball to everybody else and or finishing or getting to the free throw line. He's been excellent throughout this entire playoff run, throughout the entire series, and throughout the entire season. So we need him to continually set screens, get out of transition, and do everything that he's been doing to help us win.
In the middle, third row.
Hi, Jimmy. Christian Palotie from Sanoma Media, Finland. In the last game, it seemed like Denver was more okay with playing you in that drop coverage 2-on-2 and not helping as much from the other positions. And also when you made those long dribbles, kind of natural Gretzky dribbles, they didn't help out as much as they did in the previous game. What's important in terms of if they keep doing that to how to get your teammates involved as well?
Keep doing what I'm doing. Look to find my guys open on the perimeter. Maybe dribble on the perimeter for some handoffs. Honestly, I can't tell you. I don't know. I got to go back and watch it. But I know I'm going to find my guys. I have to find my guys if we want to win. So keep attacking and get the ball to my guys so they can get shots on goal.
On your left, third row.
Deniz Aksoy from Esport TV Turkey. So I talked to Ömer Faruk Yurtseven from Turkey, and he said he's looking and he's observing every single move that you guys are making during the finals. He's learning. So what would you like to tell them to teach them more every day, day by day, to make them improve themselves in their careers?
Like being calm, not rattled is like the best thing ever. Knowing that everything's going to be okay, everything's going to be just fine. As long as you give it your all, you go into it every day knowing that you have an opportunity to do something special. And that's what we're doing here. We're having a lot of fun being and competing with one another. So that's what we do. Stay calm, stay collected, and go out there and do everything together.
Over here on the right side.
Jimmy, Paul Antunes, ESPN Brazil. Everywhere you look, like in this organization, it seems like there's some kind of underdog story, right? Even with Coach Spo, the way he came up, and even Pat Riley, the way he became coach of the Lakers, and obviously a lot of players, the way they got to the league and everything. What do you think that does for the chemistry of the team to have all these people together?
I don't think it does too much. I just think you have some really talented basketball players on the roster. You have some really genius coaches on the coaching staff and some super genius individuals in the front office. And they get everybody on the same page. They get everybody chasing the same goal. And they give everybody to give in to the team, let go of the self and really buy into what we're doing here as a whole. Underdog or not, that's just what it is here, and we love it.
Last 2 questions on the left side.
How do you evaluate your own performance, and if you have the opportunity to change something, what would you like to change?
I wouldn't change anything, not one thing. I continue to be who I am. We will continue to be who we are as a group, as a team. We're going to go out here and we're going to compete together. We're going to win together. and we're gonna be who we are. I wouldn't change a thing though.
Last question, standing on the left side.
Hi, Jimmy. Pedro Ortiz on Fire Media, Puerto Rico. I saw you were eating Puerto Rican food the other day. How was that mofongo and how was that experience?
It was good. Puerto Rican food. I'm a big foodie. So any opportunity I get to go be around the city, enjoy food, enjoy really good company with people I don't get to see every day. I'm fortunate to do that. So I got a lot of love for all types of food, but for sure all the food around Miami.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Game to cover?
I do have a hockey game to cover. Thank you for noticing. Thank you for remembering.
Hey, man. Great memories.
Why is it so important that you guys are so loose today? Like, as you may have just heard, Jimmy was being violently harassed by a teammate during his interview.
Who would do something like that?
We have
definitely Bam.
It had to be Bam.
It had to be.
Why is it so important to be loose right now?
Honestly, we play basketball for a living, and if you get too uptight, and that's been our group the whole year. We had great leaders, and Jimmy's loose. Bam's loose. Coaches, he's gonna smile. If you get too uptight, you can wind yourself crazy. Yes, we've all thought about the game. We slept horribly last night. I'm sure everyone did. We watched we got to just stay in the moment, and the moments don't come often. It's 17 years for me. It's my second finals, and I'm appreciative of it. And I think our group is just a group that understands that, that's how we are. We don't get uptight, we just go out there and we smile through everything and we just have fun.
Left side, first row.
Anthony Chang, Miami Herald. First, how are you feeling after
Great.
that slip?
I'm going fantastic. Oh, man. I feel like I can do 20,000 jumping jacks right now.
It's good to hear. One of the adjustments they made, did it feel like they were helping out less off the shooters last night to kind of take away some of those clean three-point looks you guys got in the first two?
Yeah, I think they made a great adjustment. That's playoff basketball. Every single game is completely different. Adjustments will be made every single night, and that's what at this stage, 2 teams left. You got to be able to make adjustments, and that's what both teams have done throughout the playoff run. It's really it's really a chess match, and they did a good job of staying home and making us shoot tough twos and stuff like that. But that's good basketball. It's good for them to be able to make that adjustment. Now, we got to go and watch the film, figure out what we can do better, how we can adjust, how we can adapt, and get some better looks.
We're going to go first row to Manny.
Hey, Kyle. Manny Navarro with The Athletic. I heard a rumor you were wearing a Messi jersey, I think, during the World Cup around here. Yeah. Just curious, your reaction to the news that he's going to be playing here in MLS. Man, he's getting a lot of money. It's gonna be awesome, man. I think the MLS is it's a great league, and I think they understand how to put the product out there, and bringing one of the world's greatest football players out there, bringing them here is gonna be awesome. He's gonna bring a different fan base. He's gonna get some more revenue going, and it's gonna be a great atmosphere when they get that stadium built, and the fans gonna enjoy it, and I think it's great for soccer in America, especially down here in Miami.
How big a soccer fan are you, and I guess how big a Messi fan are you?
Oh, I'm a Messi fan. Soccer, it's great to watch. Honestly, I watch the World Cups. It's just I'm not good at it, so I don't really love it like that. If I was good at it, I'd be like, yeah. But yeah.
Right side, third row.
Kyle, am I correct that you guys have not had a chance to go over film yet?
Huh?
Have you guys had a chance to go over
We
film?
got over all film, but yeah, no, not really. Okay. Nice hat.
Thank you. So Jimmy talked a lot about effort and energy. Spo talked about 50-50 balls and things like that. What makes it so difficult? The NBA is difficult. It's tough, right? What makes it even more difficult, even at this stage, to be able to get everybody in the same place mentally to make those kinds of effort plays and be locked in?
Well, I think every human being is different in general, right? And so everyone's not going to be on the same page at all times. But I think when you have one common goal, it's a lot easier. We watch the film, we'll be in there together. I think that's the one thing about it, is that it's not as difficult. You know, everyone has their own minds for sure, but it's when you're one common goal and it's only about this championship, I think it's a little bit easier to get closer to the same page mentally than everyone else. So yeah.
We're going to go to the right side, fifth row.
What's up, Kyle?
Rookie of the year, baby. There you go.
Paulo, man, here with P5 Productions today.
Okay.
Obviously, Villanova great, jersey up in the rafters. I'm curious to know, what's your Villanova all-time starting five if you had to make one?
Man. Yeah, that's a tough question for the rookie of the year right there. You know what I'm saying? That's good. That's good. P5 is that's your stuff? That's your
That's my thing.
Okay.
Started today.
Okay, P5 started today. Y'all shout out. Y'all go follow P5. My all-time starting lineup, Villanova, would be, got to go with Ed Pinckney for sure. I'm going to go with Tim Thomas. I'm going to go with Randy Foy. I'm going to go with me. And I'm going to go with Mikal Bridges. And then Jalen, Josh, you know, they'll be my 6th and 7th man. That's a good lineup. I like that. I'm happy with that.
We're going to finish up on the left side with Tim Reynolds.
Come on, Tim, bro.
Only because you
go
said,
to the Panthers game.
I am
bro.
going.
Let's
I'm
go
trying to-
Panthers, by
I'm
the way. Let's
trying
go
to get out
Panthers.
of
Let's, we're going to shout out the Panthers.
Only because you said he's getting a lot of money, and he is.
Yeah.
He left like $1 billion on the
Hey,
table.
listen, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
What is it? Look, everybody's got their own plan, whatever, and he's not hurting, obviously. But is that like the ultimate athlete empowerment story, to say, I'm going to go where I want and I'm going to do what I want? And is that something you all kind of strive to get to? Is that point where it's just not who makes the biggest offer?
That's honestly, that's a really good question, Tim. Honestly, I think we all, you know, and through our athletics, and I appreciate the guys who, you know, went through a lot of the struggles to even get us to this point where we can make decisions on where we want to be, and it's about us being happy. And to be able to turn down one place and go to where you want to be, that's the ultimate goal. And that's in life. That's in general, right? That's just not with athletics. That's with life in general. As a you know, reporter, lawyer, doctor, you want to be able to choose where your happiness lies. And at the end of the day, it's all about, you know, your health, your happiness, your family, and that's all that matters. You want to be able to say you're happy, you're smiling every single day, you're breathing above this earth while you can, and you can provide for your family, friends, for yourself, and be able to do it how you want to do it. And that's the ultimate goal.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.